It's amazing what happens when you have authentic conversations.
So EDI is not a black and white thing, all white people are racist and all brown people are oppressed. I've been more oppressed by my own community than the dominant. Let's just get that out of the way.
If we don't embrace that uncomfortableness, we're never going to be able to make that journey. We're never going to be able to be curious about what it is to create safe spaces, to heal from that trauma, to forgive.
I was abused by 2 of my family members. When I turned 16, I pressed charges. They pleaded guilty, and the judge said to me, "What do you want?" I said, "I don't want them to go to jail. I want them to go to counseling because I want them to understand where it started." And it did come out that they were abused too. So I stopped that cycle.
As a minority, as a black woman, showing courage and resilience is a matter of survival. It's not truly that I am that courageous or I'm that resilient. It's a matter of this is how I have to live to survive.
And I've said I've gone through ups and downs before. I've had days and specific dates where I wasn't gonna see the next day. But I'm stronger now, and there is a lot of hate in our community. But for those that don't have that voice, don't have that visibility, are scared, I've got you.
Holding our tension, it's saying some things might become uncomfortable. That is okay.
I think one of the words we said was a collective sense of hope and no loss of hope for certain communities that are underrepresented.
I guess it was kind of nice because some people reached out to me when I was new here, so I kind of got like a starting point. My friend Aaliyah, she brought me to like some of her friends, and that's kind of where most of the connection started.
Fight, fight, fight. I literally jumped down and gave her whatever I could. I punched her, kicked her, did all the things. And now the school labeled me as the bully, which I thought maybe I would feel better being the bully than the one being bullied, but it actually didn't make me feel any better. I still felt excluded, ashamed, because when people would come around, they would be like, "Oh, she's the bully, she's the new bully, like, don't go around her." So again, had no friends.
Dumb, lame, crazy, mad, lunatic, sick, cancer, retarded, demented, a gimp, freak, idiot, or slow. But what's happened is people have grabbed those words and they've put them into context to reinforce a negative association. Well, what is that telling people who have those descriptions? That's telling them that you're now negative, you're worthless.
I got hit really hard, where they caved in half of my head. She helped me heal for 2 years. And I was just getting ready to go again. And then I got into another fight. I stepped up and helped my friend who was getting beaten by about 5 guys with a bunch of pipes. So now I had to learn how to speak. I had to learn how to navigate my life. I lost my mental capability of being able to say, this is actually happening, or is this just an idea?
And I would be trying so hard to understand him. And sorry, I didn't know I was going to talk about that, but I think just seeing him struggle and for me not being able to help him as much as I'd like to.
And I wanted to showcase of like just the importance of the family unit.
We're gonna blow it out and do a laugh with that. And then we're gonna say thank you and ha 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 because your wish comes true.
To find equity, diversity, and inclusion is really something that within my own community is kind of a hard thing to do these days. I think people need to understand that as First Nations people, since we've been finding out some of the most horrible truths that have come upon us with residential schools and the treatment of us from the Canadian government, it's made it harder for us to look outward. It is much harder for us to actually accept from the outside because we're trying to find that in our own selves right now.
Changing your identity to fit in with the group isn't really what we're looking for when we're looking for group cohesion, right? And it is a tricky nuance. How do I fit in? How do I have a sense of belonging without having to change who I am and hide who I am, which is exactly what my ancestors did for survival.
So at 3.5 months, I was taken from my biological parents, along with my 2 older brothers. So there's 5 of us kids, and we were taken from Grandview, Dauphin area in Manitoba, and we were adopted out to white families. My 2 older brothers, okay, I'm 51. My 2 older brothers just found out last year they had a sister. We're 50. Why are we finding this out now? All 5 of us kids were human trafficked from the Canadian government through the Child and Family Services in the province of Manitoba. This is how us 60 scoopers talk about this.
Consistently over the years, the diverse organizations outperform the low diverse.
We cannot control how people perceive us. They perceive us the way they want, but we have that awareness that we can control how we're coming across.
My faith really does define how I see the world. That is what defines my perspective, and that perspective comes back to shared humanity.
I stopped worrying about how I was going to be seen as a leader, and I started caring about relationship more than caring about being right.
So that's what a leader is somebody who's able to go back to that spot, to that place. And we all can do that, right? It's hard. It's not easy to do.
As someone that comes from my positionality, I'm from Southern Alberta, I got to really understand that nuance of the power and privilege that I often walk through this world with.
I changed my name in summer camp. I went to Tina. No one bullied me. I told my parents I want to change my name. And, I think back to this, and they even said, that's a good idea. And reflecting on that, they're refugees from Vietnam. They also changed their names. And I grew up thinking it was really normal. And now that I'm older, now that I'm in the work that I do, I'm really seeing, this is not the example I want to set. And I want to be proud of my name.
Committing to connection, collaboration, uplifting others, bringing these skill sets and these small movements, these small decisions in sharing some time and energy and skills actually allows us to have diversity, inclusion.
But one night, he followed me home, dragged me into his vehicle, and drove me in the middle of nowhere. 2 days later, I woke up and I was in the hospital with the doctor telling me, Miss Tinker, you were in a coma for 2 days. You were kidnapped, stabbed, and we don't know when you'll ever walk again.
We need to step into this hard work. It is hard work, and we can't let our fear hold us back.
There was really heartfelt stories, but there was also things I could just take to a meeting tomorrow and implement and make my workplace better.
Everyone with their own different perspectives, different experiences. It's also been a great networking opportunity.
Great to have that response, because for me it's new to be able to have that connection with new people while sharing something that is hard for me, and not having any judgment from that side was really huge.
There's something here for every organization.